A very warm and pleasant morning to all my dear children. Children, as we all know, we have started with our lesson number 6, Classification of Plants from Science Part 2. And in this lesson, we have covered the topic Kingdom Plantae, in which we have learned about cryptogams and the division, that is division 1 Thallophyta, division 2 Bryophyta, and division 3 Pteridophyta, right? Children, in this video today we shall be learning about phanerogams and gymnosperm and angiosperm. Okay, so let's begin. Depending upon the absence or presence of flowers, fruits, and seeds, plants are classified as cryptogams or phanerogams. Today, children, we will be studying phanerogams, which are further classified as gymnosperms and angiosperms. So let's begin with phanerogam. Plants which have special structures for reproduction and produce seeds are called as phanerogams. Okay, phanerogams are the plants that have special structures for reproduction and they generate seeds. Now, in these plants, after the process of reproduction, seeds are formed that contain embryo and stored food. And this stored food, children, it is used for the initial growth of the embryo during the germination of seed, right? During germination of seed, the stored food, okay, it is used for the initial growth of the embryo. And children, depending upon whether the seeds are enclosed in a fruit or not, these phanerogams are classified into gymnosperms and angiosperms. Now let us study the first division, that is gymnosperms. Gymnosperms. Now the word gymnosperms comes from the Greek words gymnos means naked and sperma means seed. Hence, it is known as naked seeds. So, gymnosperms are a group of plants that produce seeds which are not enclosed within the ovary or a fruit. Okay, children. Gymnosperms are the seed producing plants. They produce seeds without fruits. Gymnosperms are mostly evergreen plants, perennial and woody. Now, perennial means existing for a long or apparently infinite time. Okay, so therefore, gymnosperms are mostly evergreen plants. They are woody and they exist for a long or infinite time. Their stems are without branches and their leaves they form a crown. Okay, the formation of leaf is like a crown. These plants they have both male and female flower on different sporophyll of the same plant. Now what are sporophylls, children? We have learnt this. Sporophylls are the plant bearing sporangia. Okay. Seeds of these plants, they do not have natural covering. That means these plants do not form fruits and therefore they are called as gymnosperm. These plants develop on the surface of scales or leaves or at the end of the stalks, forming a cone-like structure, as you can see on your screen, children. So what is gymnosperm, children? Gymnosperms are the group of plants that produce seeds which are not enclosed within the fruit. Okay, therefore, we can say that gymnos means naked and sperma means seeds. Some of the examples of gymnosperms are Cycas, Piscia, Thuja, Pinus, etc. All these trees are evergreen, perennial and woody. Okay, and their stems are without branches. Understood, children? What are gymnosperms? Good. Now let us begin with the next division, that is division number 2, angiosperm. Angiosperm. Here, angios means cover and sperma means seeds. Therefore, we say that the seeds are covered, hence they are known as angiosperms. Angiosperms are vascular plants with stem, roots and leaves. The seeds of angiosperms are found in a flower. These make up the majority of plants on the earth. The seeds develop inside the plant organ and they form fruit. Hence, they are also known as flowering plant. Now, children, angiosperms, they are the most advanced and beneficial group of plants. Okay, they can grow in various habitats as trees, herbs, shrubs, and bushes. So, the flowers these plants bear are their reproductive organs, and the flowers develop into fruits and seeds and are formed within the fruits. Okay, children. So, these angiosperms, these are the most advanced and beneficial group of plants, and they make up the majority of plants on the earth. So we can say that the seeds develop inside the plant organ and they form fruit. Therefore, they are also known as flowering plants. So children understood what is angiosperm? They are vascular plants with stem, roots and leaves. Okay, and they are also known as flowering plants. The plants whose seeds can be divided into two equal halves, okay, or dicotyledons are called as dicotyledonous plant, and those whose seeds cannot be divided into two equal parts are called as monocotyledonous plants. Now children, we know what is a cotyledon. It is a significant part of the embryo within the seed of the plant. Right? We know this. So, if the seed can be divided into two equal halves, they are known as dicotyledonous plants. And the seeds which cannot be divided into two equal parts are known as monocotyledonous plants. Now children, let us study the difference between a monocot or monocotyledonous and dicot or dicotyledonous plants. Okay. So children, let's study the difference between dicotyledonous plants and monocotyledonous plant. The first difference we will see is the seed. In dicotyledon, there are two cotyledons. Okay, as you can see on your screen, a dicot seed, it has two cotyledons. Okay, whereas in monocots, there is only a single cotyledon. As you can see on your screen, children. A monocot seed and a dicot seed. So what is a cotyledon? It is a significant part of the embryo within the seed of the plant. As you can see here, children, that is a cotyledon. So a dicot seed has two cotyledon, whereas a monocot seed has a single cotyledon. Okay, got it, children? Now let's see the root system in dicots and monocots. In dicotyledon, the roots are well developed primary roots, or we can say tap root. Okay, now what is a tap root, children? A tap root is a large, central, and dominant root system from which other roots sprout laterally. Okay, it is somewhat straight and very thick. It is tapering in shape, and it goes directly into the downwards direction. Okay, it grows directly into the downward direction. As you can see on your screen, children, a taproot system where the root is a large, central, and dominant. Okay, and the other roots also sprout laterally. So this is tapering in shape and it grows directly downward. So this is a taproot which is in dicotyledonous plant. Whereas in monocotyledonous plant, the root system is fibrous root. Now what are fibrous root, children? As you can see on your screen, it is usually formed by thin, moderately branching roots growing from stem. Okay, the fibrous root, it grows horizontally in all the direction and does not reach deep into the soil. Okay, so in dicot plants, the roots are tap root, okay, which grows directly downwards in the ground, and in monocots the roots are fibrous roots which doesn't reach deep into the soil and grows horizontally in all the direction. Understood the children difference between dicots and monocots with respect to root system? Okay. Now if we look at the stem of dicots, they are strong, hard. Okay, for example, a banyan tree. As you can see, children, this banyan tree, it has strong and hard stems, right? Whereas in monocotyledon, the stem is hollow. Okay, for example, bamboo plant. The stems are falls in banana plant, and in onion plant the stems are disc-like. Okay, so this is the difference between monocots and dicots with respect to stem. Now let's study dicots and monocots with respect to leaf. Okay, now in dicots the leaves have reticulate venation, and in monocots it has the leaves parallel venation. Now what do we mean by venation, children? The arrangement of veins in a leaf is termed as venation. Okay, the arrangement of the veins in a leaf, it is called as venation. So what is a reticulate venation then? As you can see on your screen, children, in reticulate venation, there is a prominent vein called the midrib, from which arises many small veins which finally form a net-like structure. Okay, this type of venation is found in the leaves of dicotyledonous plant. Okay, children, where we could see that the veins of the leaf, it forms a web-like structure, okay, or net-like structure. So these are called as reticulate venation. and it is seen in dicotyledonous plants. Okay. In monocotyledonous plants, we see the venation of leaf is parallel. So what is parallel venation? It means the veins present within the leaves are arranged parallel to each other. The veins, they never join any other vein. Okay. And no branching is seen in parallel venation. So all monocots are parallelly venated. Understood, children? The difference between reticulate and parallel venation? Dicots have reticulate venation and monocots have parallel venation. Okay. Now let's study the difference between dicots and monocots with respect to flower. Now flowers in dicots have 4 or 5 parts or in their multiples. That means they are tetramerous or pentamerous flowers in dicots. What are tetramerous flower, children? Tetramerous flowers are those flowers that exhibits, we can say, sepals, stamens, petal, all in a set of 4. Okay. The flowers which has the sepals, stamens and petals all in a set of 4 are tetramerous, whereas pentamerous flowers are those flowers that exhibits sepals, stamens and petals all in a set of 5. Understood? In monocot, children, the flowers are with 3 parts or in multiple of 3. Therefore, they are known as trimerous flowers. So, what are trimerous flowers? Trimerous flowers are the flowers that only have 3 petals and they are present in monocots. Okay. Understood, children, the difference between monocots and dicots with respect to flower? Okay. So, have you all understood, children? So, let us quickly summarize what we have learnt in this chapter. We have learnt the classification of plants, right? The classification basis on the presence or absence of the organs, right? So we have learnt in this chapter kingdom Plantae. On the presence or absence of flowers, fruits and seeds, plants are divided into cryptogams and phanerogams, right? Further, these cryptogams are divided into 3 divisions, that is Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. Whereas phanerogams are further subdivided into 2 divisions, that is Gymnosperms and Angiosperms. And children, angiosperms are further divided into dicotyledons and monocotyledons. So children, these are the kingdom Plantae and we have learned the classification. I hope everyone has understood the concept which we have learned in this lesson. Children, we have finished our lesson number 6, classification of plants. And I hope, children, everyone has understood each and every concept related to this lesson. I have tried best to explain all the terms. I request children, please watch the video attentively and then read the lesson for better understanding. We shall meet you in the next lecture with a new topic. Till then, children, take care. Thank you.